Once upon a time, in the snowy kingdom of Arendelle, there lived two sisters in a magnificent castle, the older, Elsa, and the younger, Anna. Elsa was born with a secret, a magical gift. She could create ice and snow with a simple wave of her hand. When they were little girls, their laughter filled the palace halls. Elsa would conjure up sparkling snowmen, and Anna would dance joyfully in the swirling snowflakes. "Do it again, Elsa." Anna would giggle, her eyes wide with wonder, and Elsa, happy to oblige, would twirl her fingers, painting the floor with a beautiful slick layer of ice. But one enchanting night, as they played, their innocent game took a dangerous turn. A stray bolt of Elsa's magic accidentally struck Anna. A single streak of white appeared in her hair, and she fell to the floor, still and silent. Terrified, Elsa screamed for their parents. The king and queen rushed in, and without a moment's hesitation, they carried Anna to the wise, ancient trolls of the mountains. The troll elder, with his deep, gentle magic, healed Anna, but to protect her, he also had to erase all memory of Elsa's powers. Turning to the worried king and queen, he gave them a solemn warning: fear will be your enemy. From that day forward, everything changed. The grand castle gates were locked and bolted. Elsa, consumed by fear of her own abilities, locked herself away in her room, terrified she might hurt someone again. The years passed, and the sisters, once inseparable, grew up in isolation from one another, one hidden behind a closed door, the other longing for the sister she barely remembered. Anna would often go to Elsa's door and knock, her hopeful voice just a whisper, "Do you want to build a snowman?" But the door remained shut, and Elsa never answered. The silence between them grew as deep as the snow outside. Then came the day of Elsa's coronation. The entire kingdom of Arendelle was buzzing with excitement. Flags fluttered from every building. Bells rang out across the land. And for the first time in years, the castle gates swung open. Anna was absolutely thrilled. Finally, she could see people again. She danced through the crowded streets, her heart light and full of hope. And then, quite literally, she bumped into a dashing and charming prince named Hans. They laughed, they talked, they even finished each other's sandwiches. In the whirlwind of the day, they decided they were deeply in love. That night, the grand coronation ball was a glittering spectacle of candlelight and music. Elsa, looking poised and regal, wore her crown with a grace that hid her inner turmoil. Everything seemed perfect. That is, until Anna rushed to her sister's side, her face beaming. "Elsa, Hans and I are getting married." Elsa's faint smile vanished. "You can't marry a man you just met," she said, her voice calm but firm. "But why not? You don't understand love," Anna retorted, her frustration boiling over. The argument escalated, and Elsa's carefully controlled emotions finally burst. Sharp, jagged ice shot from her hands, freezing a patch of the ballroom floor. The guests gasped in shock and terror. Fear, raw and undeniable, filled Elsa's eyes. Without another word, her heart breaking, she turned and fled from the castle, leaving a trail of ice behind her. Elsa ran and ran, climbing high into the North Mountain as her tears turned into delicate snowflakes. Finally alone, she felt a strange sense of release. She lifted her hands to the sky, and with a soft, determined voice, she began to sing. With every step she took, a magnificent palace of glittering ice rose around her. For the first time in her life, she felt truly free. But as her powers grew wild and unchecked in her newfound freedom, a terrible consequence unfolded far below. The kingdom of Arendelle was plunged into an eternal, bitter winter. Anna, however, refused to believe her sister was a monster. She refused to let Elsa face this storm alone. Determined to bring her home, and fix what had gone wrong, she set off on her horse into the blizzard. Along her perilous journey, she met a kind but rugged ice harvester named Kristoff and his loyal, goofy reindeer, Sven. Soon after, they stumbled upon a cheerful little snowman named Olaf, brought to life by Elsa's magic, who hilariously dreamed of experiencing summer. Together, this unlikely team of heroes began their ascent up the snowy cliffs toward Elsa's magnificent ice palace. When Anna finally reached her sister, her eyes filled with tears of relief and worry. "Elsa, Arendelle is frozen. Please, you have to come back." Elsa turned away, her own fear returning. "I don't know how to stop it," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Yes, you can," Anna insisted, stepping closer. "We can fix it together." But Anna's persistence only fueled Elsa's anxiety. "No, I can't control it," she cried out, and in her panic, another blast of icy magic shot from her hands. This time, it struck Anna directly in the heart. Horrified by what she'd done, Elsa screamed for Anna to leave. As Anna stumbled away, her heart began to slowly, painfully turn to ice. Kristoff, realizing the danger, rushed Anna back to Arendelle, believing that only an act of true love, a kiss from her fiancé, Hans, could break the curse. But Prince Hans was not who he appeared to be. When Anna, weak and shivering, begged him for a kiss, he simply smirked. "If only there was someone who loved you," he said cruelly. Revealing his plan to seize the throne, he then locked Anna in a freezing room to die and led a party of guards to capture Elsa. But Elsa, fueled by desperation, broke free. The blizzard around her intensified, a raging tempest reflecting her inner turmoil. The sky darkened, and the sisters were lost to each other in the swirling snow. Meanwhile, Kristoff was racing back toward the castle, his heart pounding, hoping he could reach Anna in time to save her with his own true love's kiss. But Anna, barely able to move, saw something else through the blinding snow. She saw Elsa, kneeling on the ice, alone and defeated, and she saw Hans, standing over her, raising his sword to strike. With the last ounce of her strength, Anna made a choice. She threw herself in front of her sister, forming a human shield. Just as the sword came down, it struck her frozen body with a deafening clang and shattered into pieces. Anna had turned completely to ice. Elsa fell to her knees, clutching the solid statue of her sister. "No, please, Anna, no," she sobbed, her heart completely broken. But then, something miraculous happened. As Elsa's tears of genuine love fell upon her, Anna's frozen form began to glow. The ice melted away, her color returned, and she took a breath. Elsa gasped, her eyes wide with disbelief. "But how?" Anna smiled softly at her sister. "An act of true love," she explained, "can thaw a frozen heart." And with that realization, the storm ceased, the dark clouds parted, and the warm sun returned to Arendelle, melting the snow from the rooftops. Flowers began to peek through the last patches of ice, and the sounds of laughter once again filled the kingdom. Elsa finally understood. She didn't need to fear or hide her powers. All she needed was love to guide them. With a graceful wave of her hand, she created a beautiful skating rink in the castle courtyard. And the people of Arendelle cheered. No longer afraid, she even created a personal snow cloud for Olaf, allowing him to finally enjoy the sunshine without melting. Anna hugged Elsa tightly. "You'll never have to close the gates again," she said, her voice full of relief. Elsa smiled, a true warm smile. Love will always keep them open. And from that day on, Arendelle was a warmer place. Not just because the winter was over, but because the hearts of its two sisters were finally and forever full of love. So the next time you think of a grand adventure, remember that true love isn't just about a prince's kiss. It's the powerful, unbreakable bond you share with your family and friends, the people who will stand by you and brave any storm, just to make sure you're okay. Thank you so much for watching with us today. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tales to warm your heart. See you next time.